Hi everyone in the YouTube world. It's 5:05 in the morning. I've got insomnia. And so I thought, rather than just sit waiting for sleep to come, which obviously it's not going to, I would introduce myself. I did a very short video referring to my Nicky Facebook page about chronic illness. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to start putting them on here as well. The reason I'm doing it is because I had a road accident back in 2012. Before that, I had a fantastic career. Had everything going for me, and within the space of a year, on diagnosis of ME, myalgic encephalomyelitis, and fibromyalgia, my whole world just smashed to pieces. I lost everything. Friends, life, homes, career, everything came crashing down to the point where I was left on the doorstep of my friend's house with 2 dustbin bags and my 2 dogs, with absolutely nothing left in the world. It's been the most darkest, devastating time of my life. But this isn't a sob story. This isn't for everybody to look and say, oh, poor me. I've learnt a lot in the 6 years that I've had this. And I basically want to start sharing it with everybody else, because there's not much I can do from a bed, to be fair. There's a couple of things I can think of I could do to entertain, but no, that's not what I'm thinking of, not at all. When I first had my road accident, the impact led to immediate pain and exhaustion straight away, and it was a really frustrating first year, wondering what the hell was wrong with me, because I was in bed all the time and wheelchair bound. I just didn't know what the hell was going on. It's a really, really complex condition, ME, fibromyalgia, and I was lost. I was in a complete world of grieving my old life, wondering what the hell was wrong with me, feeling like a hypochondriac. The doctors weren't listening to me. They all thought I was making it up, and it was just a whole world of pain. So 6 years on, I've learnt a lot, which I want to share with you guys. So please, if you know, even if you haven't got it and you've come across this, I don't know what it is. Is it a vlog, blog, feed, video? I ain't got a bloody clue. I'm just sitting here in the middle of the night like a complete donut, wanting to help people. And I know, look at the state of me. No makeup, haven't brushed my hair, haven't brushed my teeth, haven't washed for ages because it's too much energy. And then you look at my pictures of my videos, it's a bit different, isn't it? Yeah, it's a bit different. So yeah, I basically wanted to reach out and help people. How am I qualified in this? I wouldn't say qualified. Don't switch off the video after you hear this bit, but I speak to dead people and angel energy, and I have people called guides that look after me, and I've had it since birth. So I don't want any of those, oh, you're a charlatan, you prey on people, whatever. I'm bored of that. I've had it all my life, don't really care. So jog on those people and watch videos of fat cats and people juggling fire, I don't know. This is about me. It's about my journey, and it's about how spirituality has stopped me from basically wanting to jump off a cliff during the worst times of this condition. I was also a police officer, mainly major investigation detective, CID, plain clothes. So I'm an open-minded skeptic, and I know what I'm talking about, very grounded. So I'm not an airy-fairy, farty, oh, everything's spiritual, love and light, because it ain't. Because I've been there and done it, and it isn't. But I learned a lot of bereavement training, because I looked after rape victims and murder victim families, and so I kind of got a good angle on my grieving process through this and could understand that. The first few years were really, really dark, I'm not going to lie. They were horrific, because I was in bed for years alone, with a multitude of symptoms, and I just wanted to die every single day. And I said on my Facebook video basically that I actually wanted to be diagnosed with a terminal illness just so it could end. That's how bad it was, because this is a horrific disease. And when people mention fibromyalgia, I can't even say it, and ME, you know, you immediately go back to yuppie flu. You remember when that was all bandied about in the 80s? And you think about, and I remember, I've done it myself, when people said, "Oh, I've got fibromyalgia," I'm like, well, just get off your ass and, you know, push through it and get on with it, love. You know, it can't be that bad. You've got no clue unless you've gone through this. And, you know, it's not just about ME and fibromyalgia. Since I've been on the forums over the years and met people, it's chronic illness, you know. It could be anything: lupus, Hashimoto's, Lyme's disease. You know, there's young people that are rotting in their beds without any help whatsoever. And nobody realises that. So part of what I'm doing here is not only to help people and give them my inspiration through a spiritual concept, as well as my experience. You know, I'm going to be talking about everything that I've tried, and I've tried everything: holistic therapies, diets, foods, health supplements. I'm going to go through all of that through each of my videos, or whatever you want to call them. I don't even know what you call them. You know, to try and help you. Also, the miracles that have happened to me, things that have happened to me spiritually. So it's a bit interesting, I suppose. So I'm not going to sit here and wail and moan about my condition and, oh God, it's really bad, tell everybody how bad it is. But, you know, there's going to be a bit of a police influence coming in. And obviously, you know, 80% is what has got me through, which is the miracles that I've been shown. So, you know, I've never been so contented and fulfilled in all my life. Emotionally, because of what's been shown to me during the last 6 years, which sounds really weird because I haven't got a life. I just got like a bed in my bedroom. That's about it most of the time. And so yeah, I want to share it now. I don't know why. I did a reading today, and afterwards, one of my guides, Juliana, so I'll tell you about him one day, and prove to you how I know him and how I know about previous lives. That's another story. Then he basically said, right, talk to people on that social thing, whatever he called it. And I'm like, right, okay. And he wanted me to share what I've got to say. And I thought, oh God, I don't want to do this. But I think it's like over 5,000 people have watched, you know, the little bit I did on Facebook. And I thought, do you know what? And there were so many messages of people feeling encouraged, and they got a lot of help from what I had to say. So that's kind of given me a bit of a boost to go out to the bigger world of YouTube. And see if I can help you. Nobody can understand this. Nobody can unless you're going through it, or unless you're caring for someone with it. And as I said, I'm gonna like do regular filming of every single way that I can help you spiritually, emotionally, physically, to get you through each day, because it is like a waiting for God scenario, you know. As I said earlier on my Facebook feed, that, you know, people talk about old people during the winter, and, you know, that they're alone and nobody sees them. Now, you know, there's over 300,000 of us that literally are rotting away in our beds. You know, I haven't seen anybody. My last relapse, I'm always in relapse to be fair, but I've had like 4 months not seeing a soul, apart from the postman and the person that comes, my friend comes in, like for my care needs and to help clean the place. That's it. You know, it's a very, very lonely place to be. Very lonely. So I hope that this video, I don't care how many people watch it. I do, but all I care is that one person that's sitting in bed now with insomnia and in pain and exhausted and all the other symptoms that come along with this, gets something from it, if you know what I mean. I said about 300,000 sufferers. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind there's another 300,000 sufferers that are either drinking Red Bull to get them through the day and eating loads of sugary stuff, and then taking loads of sleeping aids at night to overcome the insomnia and wonder why they're in pain all the time, think they're a bit, you know, stiff joints, have got a bit of arthritis like their mum had. You know, I think there's so many undiagnosed people out there. There's lack of education, there's lack of help. GPs deal with you like a malingerer. They really don't want to understand or don't care. It's not all GPs, but I would say 99% of them that I've encountered over 6 years really don't give a crap. One of them even started having a go at me, saying that it's not as if I was disabled or had a broken arm, to get a grip. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, it's a bit harsh out there for us sufferers. But there's ways and means where you don't have to go through the NHS system, because, to be quite honest, it's failing horrifically with our condition. And again, I'll take you through all the different stages that you'll be offered if you've been firstly diagnosed. I'm going to start at the beginning on my next... I don't know if it's a vlog or not. Someone help me with that. I don't know what it is. But I'm going to basically go through right from the beginning, from my experience and, you know, my advice and tips. You don't have to take any of it on board, but do you know what? You know, I think it's going to really help you, and it might get you to a more contented space a lot quicker. There's no cure for this. Everything that's being funded towards this at the moment is all charity. We don't have any special centres for us. It's just, don't basically go away and you've got to cope. And one of the biggest things is getting your head around it, because if you can't get your head around it, you are not going to be able to fight this or deal with it at all. I'll tell you that now. Suicide rates have gone up, and I don't want to start getting morbid, but it's true, with people with this condition. There's so many young people who've got it, you know, teenagers, people in their 20s, as well as 30s, and obviously me in my 30s. Obviously, you know, I'm joking. But, you know, it's a hard, impactive condition that will literally change your life. It will completely alter everything that you've known or you know, believed in beforehand. It just smashes to smithereens. I think the other inspiration behind it as well is Jennifer Bree. She's the lady that's done the film Unrest, which smashed it at the Cannes Film Festival. It's out in cinemas throughout the world, and it's downloadable on iTunes. And basically, it's about her being diagnosed with, I think it's both ME and fibromyalgia, same as me, her journey through it, and she decides to film other people with the condition. And it basically is the best awareness video out there. There is some funding that's coming in, actually. The ME Association sends out various news to say that there's a certain amount of millions going in towards this, to have a look at what actually creates it, because nobody actually knows. What we do know is that everybody either has suffered a shock to the system. You know, some people it's even started from like bereavement or a loss. Mine was from a road accident. A lot of people get it from that, or a viral infection, and it seems to kick off from there. So basically, it's kind of like an attack of your system where your body just can't take anymore. I think you get warning signs to begin with, where you start getting really tired and achy, and there's many other symptoms, and then you carry on pushing, and then your body goes, you know what, I'm shutting up shop now. So shutters go down, door closes, close sign goes on, and you are shut down big time. The most severe, I'm on the severe end of the spectrum of this, but the most severest, people are on like food tubes, totally comatose, can't move, totally paralysed, and just literally laying there doing nothing. And they're the most severest end of the spectrum. And then obviously you've got the ones that can actually cope, you know, have daytime jobs. How they do it, I don't know, bless them. And they can, you know, they kind of cope with it and then deal with the pain and, you know, the exhaustion when they get home, which is very brave of them. So all different people suffer in, you know, many different ways. There are over 200 symptoms to this condition. The main ones, obviously, are exceptional exhaustion. Now, when we talk about exhaustion, it's not, oh, I'm a bit tired, I can do with a little kip. It is the most, it's like you're walking in a lead-lined suit. It's like you physically, when you stand up and gravity hits, you feel like you just want to sink to the floor and die. You've got no energy. I can't even believe, no, I've got insomnia, but sometimes you can't even talk, you can't understand what people are saying. The energy to actually think and get the words out is just too much. It's too much to even contemplate. It's an exhaustion like you would never ever believe unless you've gone through it. That's an understatement, the word exhaustion. Obviously the pain is nerve, skin, joints, muscles, ligaments, tendons. it affects every single part of your body. Widespread pain. At the moment, my eyeballs are hurting. My jaw, you get points in your scalp, and it feels like a hammer's just smashed into your head in one tiny little area. I've got one there at the moment, and that feels like I'm literally drilling something into my head there. Joint pain. I've got joint pain and swelling at the moment in my wrists, fingers, knees and ankles. Obviously ribs are a real bad one, abdomen, back, hips. Basically, it's a pain that you just can't endure. It's teeth gritting pain. Lots of people end up getting grinding teeth syndrome and getting problems with their teeth because you're literally permanently in pain. There's no let up from this. You don't get up for a day and think, oh, I'm free of everything. It's literally levels of pain, levels of exhaustion. It never ever leaves you. 24/7 you are in pain and exhausted. It's just what level you're at. And it's weird because you could sleep all day. I've slept for weeks on end. Literally got up, gone to the loo, gone back to sleep, not eaten, and you just can sleep and sleep and sleep. You can get dizziness, balance issues, temperature is a nightmare. You can either be boiling hot all the time or freezing cold. Your body doesn't know how to regulate temperature. Incontinence, digestive problems, irritable bowel syndrome. I sound really cheery, don't I? Hurrah, hurrah. But I'm just want to say about it, not to moan about it or do a Victor Meldrew on it, but people, it might flag someone up thinking, oh my god, I've got that sort of condition. Do you know what I mean? I've got those things, and the doctors keep saying, oh, we can't find anything in your blood test, because you will find that you are the most fittest person in the world. Do you know what I mean? You're a Usain Bolt. You could just all my tests come back perfect, cholesterol, everything is perfect. And that's one of the biggest triggers for them to know that there's a problem. You might come back as vitamin D deficient, which is another marker. But basically, you're as fit as a bleeding flea. So why do you feel so crap and that you want to die? So that's normally how they get around to the diagnosis, which takes forever, by the way. So be patient, because it's a nightmare. It took me a year to get diagnosed after they do all the tests and rheumatology, and you go to the nerve people, you have the nerve conductor tests, MRI scans, you name it, you have everything, and you're literally a pincushion for the first year. And until they've exhausted every other possibility, that's when they give you that diagnosis. And that's where the stigma is attached, because people say, oh, well, there's nothing wrong with you really, but we'll give you that because we can't find any real title for you. Do you know what I mean? That's where the stigma is just a joke, and it needs to change. It needs to change dramatically, because there's mental health issues to do with this. The depression, again, I think the best way to describe it is just imagine a little nodule in your brain, right? But there's loads of different theories as to what's actually happening. Some people say it's to do with your blood vessels, nervous system, but basically I see it as a little nodule in your brain that says, oh, today I'm going to give you this, and it just blacks out and cuts out synapses for things to stop working. Sometimes I've got blurred vision. Other times I can't stand light, can't stand sound, get panic attacks, anxiety. Never had that in my life. You get that. If you're in a noisy environment, you just end up, it gets so overwhelming, you can't handle it. The voices, the sounds, if you're in a supermarket, sometimes you start getting panic, anxiety, because your brain can't take on all the stimuli. You can get, I think the best thing to do, right, is I've given you the main sort of symptoms here, but if you really want to have a look at it, just Google it, and it'll give you all the symptoms, because there's literally hundreds, and most people with this condition go through a high amount of those daily. It's really bad. Brain fog is the worst as well. I'm surprised I've managed to string sentences together. High five that. Oh, that was a pump, actually. I'm a bit crap on this, aren't I? But yeah, brain fog is a nightmare, because when you get that, you can't think, you can't compute, you can't read, you can't understand what people are saying to you, you can't think of words, you get completely stuck and you don't know what to say, or you say the wrong things. You go into a room, you've got absolutely you feel like you've got the beginning stages of dementia. It's horrific. As I said, depression is a massive part of it. You can't help it. Part of it is obviously because you've lost your life. You're laying in bed and you can't do anything ever again until you're well. You know, people take for granted they can go shopping, go out with their mates, go for a cuppa, go on holiday, put some washing on, you know, take the bin out. You can't do that with this. Especially when I've been bedbound now for like 2 weeks. So this is my world. Sorry about the hanging up top. This little room is my world. And then if I do feel well enough and I've got the energy, I'll go to the lounge. But then I think, what's the point? Because I'm not as comfortable. So I lay on my bed that I spent bloody thousands on. But that's another vlog or whatever it's called, on, you know, the best things to buy to make it comfortable for you. So yeah, so basically they're the symptoms that you will have, or you may be experiencing them now and haven't been diagnosed. There's not a set line on how to get the best out of coping with this, and, you know, the best way of getting rid of your pain, the best way of this and that. But I'm going to take you step through step of what I've learned, as I say, what I've spiritually been inspired to say. And, you know, you basically, I think the first thing to do is just to start going on forums. Start going on forums of fellow sufferers, because I tell you now, the biggest battle I had was trying to explain this to my friends and family, because they just don't get it. You know, it's like, oh, well, if you just push through, you'll be all right. Or if you have an early night, you'll be up tomorrow morning, have a good night's sleep and you'll feel refreshed. You don't feel refreshed. You could sleep for a week and still feel crap and still have no energy. Then people say, oh, it's because you overslept. You're like, oh my God, shut up. And then you get, come on, you know, graded exercise. Come on, if you start moving your body. No, it doesn't work that way, because you're exhausting your body that hasn't got any energy to do it in the first place. So you end up putting yourself in bed for a week. You have to plan everything. You have to plan what you're going to do in that day. So, for instance, today it was like, right, I'm going to plan to do a reading that I had to do, and that's it. That would be my energy for the day. And then I was inspired to do this, and now I've got insomnia, so I'm doing a second video. Go figure. Tomorrow I might as well sleep all day, and you won't hear from me in a year. But you can't plan anything, so you let friends down because, you know, you're supposed to meet them. You can't do it. You can't make it. You don't pick the phone up because you're too exhausted, or you can't talk, or can't think of words or how to use a phone, and so they get sick of it. So you lose your friends. Your family just think, oh, get off your arse, which I could totally understand. It took them a good couple of years to realise that, you know, because my mum used to go, you haven't phoned me for 2 weeks yet. Why do you think that? Because I've been laying in bed sleeping in agony and I don't know how to use the phone or talk. And it's like, Christ, and how many times I had to say it before she started realising it, you know, that you can't function as a normal human being. You get the rare little gem, the rare little jewel of the day where you think, oh my God, I think I can get dressed today. Because believe me, I used to love going shopping for boots and clothes and all that. Oh, no, 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 no. It's pyjamas on eBay, pyjamas that you get in the sale sites. I've got about 60 pairs of pyjamas, because especially when you go through night sweats as well, because you get that as well, restless leg syndrome, all sorts of crap. And with your temperature, if you're suddenly boiling, you can't keep it down, you just go through pyjamas like nobody's business. It's all so romantic, this is, isn't it? It's like it's not a Match.com thing, or I'm doing a dating thing, because it just wouldn't happen, would it? It's not going to happen. But yeah, you go through your pyjamas and all that kind of stuff, and just then you get a little gem thinking, oh, I might just wear clothes. Problem with that is, though, they hurt on your skin, because you have to wear like really baggy clothes and stuff. And at the end of the day, what is the point of wasting your energy to get into clothes when you're not going anywhere anyway? So, but you do get those gem days when you can get dressed and you can do like a normal human being day, but you have to do it at a real slow pace, because if you overdo it, that's it, you're back in bed for weeks on end again. So it's pretty tough to deal with. But you know what? As I said a little bit earlier on, I've got a contentment and I've got my head around this now. And no matter how bad it gets, yeah, I do have my bad days. Of course I do. I cry, I grieve sometimes for my old life, because I had the most amazing career, which I'll talk about at another time. But I've got my head around it and I know how to cope. And as I say, I've tried and tested every single thing that you could possibly try with this condition. And so I'm going to impart all of my knowledge, aren't you lucky, to sufferers and people that know of sufferers. And hopefully you'll get some inspiration, you'll get some help, or even just I just got reactions from people watching my video on Facebook. It's like, oh my God, you brought me so much inspiration. You've really helped me. Oh, I really understand that. It's just being with someone that gets it. That's part of the battle. That when you talk to someone, they go, oh my God, yeah, do you get that as well? Oh yeah, I get that. And you start feeling you belong again, and you start feeling that you're being understood and that people get what you're talking about, because you will feel isolated, you'll feel alienated, you'll feel like a malingerer, you will feel lazy, you will feel that everybody's judging you. And I tell you, the people around you are your own worst enemy, because you let them get to you, because they will judge you. They don't mean to, they just don't get it, they don't understand what it's about. So join here, come and listen to what I've got to say if it helps you, if you want to. Join forums, start being around people that understand this. And I don't mean, sit there and moan with them, oh yeah, isn't it terrible? Yeah, I've got that as well. Yeah, I've got that as well. I know. It's not about that. It's about identifying the positive people in a group and getting information from them. You get little tips like, what health supplements are good, what essential oils are good, or go and buy this or go and buy that. So that's what I want to do for you guys. I want to send it out there to the ether. And do you know what? If nobody watches it, that's fine by me, because it's quite cathartic. I can't even say it. Cathartic for me to actually do this. Because I used to write blogs about it, but then my hands seized, and I'm like, Christ, I can't even type as much. I've got 2 columns, that's enough at the moment, in magazines that I write, and I'm writing my books, but I can do those at my leisure. But I really want to get this out there, so it's easier for me to talk when I can, and help you guys out. I really hope that some of you have related to this already, what I'm talking about. It won't all be like Malden, oh yeah, it's all awful, you've got all these conditions, you've got all these symptoms, oh, it's all terrible. This is purely just a bit about how to identify it. And if you've had any of these come up, don't be one of those Google freaky people though, like I do. Do you know, if you get a spot and you Google it, you think, oh my God, I've got skin cancer, that's it, I'm going to die, I better do my will. It's not like that, but just have a look and listen to your body and see if anything that I've said, resonates. Because if it does, you have to have a bit of a closer look. Because I tell you, I slogged through for first year in denial. And, it's part of the grieving process. Total denial. I'm going to fight this. If I think I haven't got it, it's going to work. And I was drinking Red Bulls like nobody's business. I was eating chocolate biscuits, anything I can get my hands off full of sugar. And then at night I was wired and had insomnia. I had insomnia for like 3.5 years. That was a bitch, I'll tell you that. But you just try and fight it. But you know what? Your body's told you, I've had enough, mate. You need to listen to me, because we need to have a little understanding here, because you are not doing well and we're going to close down on you. And so, if you can get to that point before you actually slam dunk down into bed like I did, then I'm hopefully saving you from that. Because I know there's hundreds of thousands of people out there that have got this condition but are just dragging themselves through, just thinking they're overworked or overstressed, and and all you're doing is you're damaging your body and heading for the biggest relapse of your life that could last you for years. At the end of the day, they're saying there's no cure. There's loads of people I know that have said, oh yeah, I had ME and it went, but there was no real special reason for it going. I honestly think it just says, right, you've looked after yourself, we're going to leave you now, and off it trots. Because you will try and find, and there's so many of them out there, the cure for fibromyalgia. Will come to our residential place for $5,000 a week and you will go away a happy person now. It's all about positivity, mindfulness, looking after your body. You don't exactly have to become a nun, but I have become one, to be fair, because I'm trying to figure out so it don't work. But if someone said to me, you're going to treat your body like a temple in 6 years' time, I'd go, yeah, okay, whatever, I don't think so. But I do now. Yeah, I do. Blimey. But, you don't have to do that. The biggest thing is positivity and getting your head around this condition. If you can do that, you are halfway there. If you can accept what you got and start caring for yourself. The biggest thing I noticed was that I did go to the ME centre, which was absolute crap, to be honest with you. I haven't got a clue what they're doing there. They just get you to do diaries. It's just all complete waste of time and energy. But I thought, no, I'm not going to listen to everybody that told me not to bother. I shall go there and it'll all be brilliant. And the real weird thing that I noticed when I was in the main room, when they give you like the introduction to this ME clinic thing, is that everybody were driven, successful business people, you know, really hard working, really professional. You know, there was no lazy people in. There's no malingerers. There's nobody like just stepped out from watching Jeremy Kyle all morning and just thought they'd saunter in. And there's no disrespect to Jeremy Kyle viewers, by the way. Oh my God, but you know what I mean. It was all driven, hard-working, independent people, and all of them had everyone completely smashed to bits. You know, so I'm wondering if pushing your body, your mind, your soul to a certain extent leaves you vulnerable to then the straw that broke the camel's back, i.e. mine was road accident, viral illness, shock to the system. I'm wondering if that's part of what it is, that you just overdrive your system. In this day and age, it's easily done, isn't it? Let's face it. But yeah, it's interesting. We still don't know what causes it. We don't know how to change it. We don't know how to cure it. So don't start spending bloody hundreds of pounds, thousands of pounds on all these promises of cures, because it's all a load of pants. It don't work. Trust me on that. If you want to waste your money, that's fine. But I'm just telling you, there are ways to make it better. There's lots of holistic ways to definitely improve how you are. I'll also talk to you about a medication I found that has brought me 50% back to recovery. But, you know, don't get me wrong. I'm not obviously not telling you to ignore medical advice or, you know, stop you from going to holistic care centres and spending your thousands of pounds. I'm not doing that. All I'm doing is giving you the benefit of my advice and my knowledge of what I've gleaned in the last 6 years of living with this condition. And so many people say to me, how do you do it? God, why, you know, how have you got your head around it? You know, as I say, I do get my down days, but a lot of it is from spiritual intervention as well, I've got to say. So don't get dismayed by that bit, because it's not all, you know, fluffy, magical rubbish. Because as you can see, I'm a pretty grounded person, open-minded skeptic, and I don't think everything's fluffy and brilliant, but I'll tell you what, they've pulled some stunts, them lot up there, and I'm like, oh my God. And I'll share some of those anecdotes and stories with you, because it's mind-blowing what they've done for me to get me to a stage. You know, just on a very quick spiritual thing, there was a transitional stage that was taking place from 2012 to 2017. I wrote about it in the Masters Channel ebook in the US. And basically, they said it was the end of the world, you know, like the Mayan calendar and everything, but it wasn't. It was a beginning. It was the end of more younger, materially minded souls, and it was the beginning of preparing light workers and people that are more sensitive to the universe to change everything they need to do to get ready for 2018, the new beginning, the new spiritual awakening, which I thought was a load of old pants. And I did. I thought, oh, what a load of old crap. I just had a road accident. Get over it. Stop giving me all this. Oh, yeah, it's all spiritual. I'm like, yeah, oh, yeah, really. But you know what? 6 years of meditating, of getting the messages, getting the dreams, and soaking up all of this spiritual knowledge, are totally right. So if any of you have had your lives completely turned on its arse, 2012, I'm so posh, am I? Sorry. 2012, you must be going through a transitional phase. It's called the Dark Night of the Soul. Google it. And I bet you, if you've had rough times since 2012, you will totally get every single part of the philosophy behind the Dark Night of the Soul. Because I certainly have. I went through it. Still going through it to a certain extent. But, ding, I'm out on the other side. Spiritual, yeah, I'm not some wannabe medium. I'm not some 2-bit bloody palm reader. I was born into this. First spirit person I saw was my dad, solid. For the people that on a more commercial view, I've worked or graced the stage with the likes of late Colin Fry, most of you know him from Sixth Sense on the telly, Derek Okora, most of you all know him, Stephen Holbrook. So, you know, I'm not name dropping because that's not what it's about. I'm just trying to tell you the calibre that I was working at. I was due to tour Australia, America. I had a book coming out. I was just about to go into talks with the Discovery Channel show. Already done Angels with Gloria Hunniford and a load of other TV stuff on Sky. Not that that's a credit to my ability, but I shared my knowledge on programmes that I thought would help inspire people. You know, I'm not into all the fame stuff, but if I could reach more people and that was a way to do it, that's why I chose to do that sort of thing. I've been writing in spiritualist magazines since 2003. Just after I got retired, medically retired from the police service. That's another story. And yeah, so I was basically at the top of my industry. There was nothing stopping me. Absolutely nothing stopping me. I was flying high. I was loving my work. I was helping thousands of people. And then 2 seconds, a girl just passed a test, smashed into the side of my car and shattered my life into a complete dark abyss of misery, pain, loss and complete grief. But I'm out on the other side now. And as I say, I do get down days. I do get days of despair. I do burst into tears sometimes when I see people on Facebook on holiday or they've just met someone, you know, and they're getting married and all that. I just think, Christ, that's not going to happen to me. And I get a bit, But again, I'll give you the tools to change that. I'll give you the tools to help you get your mind out of that horrible little slope downwards, because that will happen quite a lot, especially in the first years. But even if you've had this for like 10, 15 years, give us a look. Hang on in there, because there might be things that I can help you with, and then you can comment or join me on Facebook and give me more stuff, because we're always learning, aren't we? Let's face it, I haven't learned everything. I just want to give you what I know already to try and help you, because there's nothing else I can do. I used to tour around UK, around Europe, and do readings with people around the world, and I got a bit lost, you know. And it was about a year ago, I just thought, I think it's when I got offered my first column out the blue, and I could feel myself getting a bit more stronger and ready to approach the public again, because I kind of disappeared for about 5 years, completely off the radar. But everybody stuck with me, which was really heartwarming. That really, really, really warmed my heart, and now I feel like I want to give a bit back. And if that means me sitting here talking into my phone at 5 o'clock in the morning, oh my God, it's now 5:45, I've been talking too long, then that's what I'll do. If the only thing I can do is sit in my PJs and talk to you about how to help this condition or any chronic illness, even if you haven't got a chronic illness, the tools and the inspirational things that I'm going to share with you are for anybody in life to cope with anything. Whether it's a breakup, I don't know, a passing, a loss, anything at all. I'm going to give you tools to help you just get over anything and make life a bit easier. Because I think the problem is that we've become so materially grounded in our human lives that we've lost that little divine inspirational bit, which I want to kind of bring back to people, because it really does help. And as I said earlier in my Facebook video, we're always going to have problems. You're always going to have obstacles. Wouldn't it be nice just to have an extra little jump to think, yeah, this is crap. Yeah, it's not great. But you know what? I'm going to get through this, and I know how. And that's what I think I'm supposed to be doing. So anyway, I hope I haven't bored you too much. Oh, God. I used to have all my makeup done, all my hair done, have all my clothes done for me, and hello, and smile on camera. And I'm like, oh, my God, look. Found the real me at last. You will find the real you in this. I tell you, it's a big journey of self-discovery, and by perhaps a year, 6 months, 6 years, I don't know, you will never ever be so in tune with yourself than you will be with this condition. That's one of the good things. You learn to exercise boundaries. You learn to decide how you want to treat your body. You learn who's good for you and who isn't, and who's around you. You make changes for you, and you put you first, which I've never done in my life. So there are benefits that come out of this. I'm telling you that now. Perhaps that's why so many people are being struck down with it. Perhaps there's some spiritual conspiracy that they're doing this so we can start loving ourselves and spreading the love to others. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now because I've been going on. Took my two dogs. I don't know if you can hear her snoring. Look, my little Mia. Yeah, that's what she's so impressed with me. Look, she's so impressed, snoring her head off. And there's little Teddy with his tongue out. Bless his little heart. Keeping him awake, I think. So, perhaps I needed to get this off my chest so I could go to sleep. Because I've been thinking about it. I think, no, I don't want to do it on YouTube, but I'm going to get horrible comments and people say it's a load of rubbish. And then I thought, well, shut up, hang on a minute, your ego's having a bit of a pop there. No, let's not have that. Let's just do it, reach out, and even if it, like, you know, reaches one person that helps or understands or reaches out to me, job done, isn't it? So what can it hurt? Certainly kept me, kept me. Well, it's not exactly kept me company, but at least it's bloody whiled away another 45 minutes of bloody insomnia. I haven't had insomnia for ages. Don't know why I've got it tonight. It's doing my head in. And do you know the weird thing is, right, people go, oh, yeah, we'll sleep all day now. Yeah, I might do, but other times I'll be awake for a few days. It's just a weird old condition, I tell you. There is no end to the symptoms. It's weird as, I'm telling you. Anyway, my darlings, I hope this reaches people. I'm sending it out to the ether now, sending it across all those waves and broadbands and God knows what, and I hope it gets into the hearts and souls and minds of the people that are going to benefit from it. So until next time, and I'm thinking if I don't get any sleep, it'll be about 7 o'clock. I'll be doing my next one. Oh God, I think I'm going to go make a cup of chai. See, the old days, do you know the old days, right? When I used to do a theatre show, I used to do a theatre show and I was buzzing. I'd have a bottle of wine, then I couldn't sleep because I was buzzing from the show. Then if it was like 5 o'clock in the morning, I'd go and have a fag and have a Baileys and hot chocolate. That was what my life was like. What a nightmare. And now I'm going to have a chai tea. Burn my, oh no, my essential oil is already burning there. So I'm going to have a chai tea. Try some calming exercises. I've got lavender, geranium and chamomile burning, which is hopefully going to facilitate some sleep. If not, you'll most probably have a near hysterical, on the edge person doing another video in about half an hour. No, not really. I don't want to overwhelm you. But yeah, on a serious note, please let me help you. Please have a listen. You know, if it's not your cup of tea, that's fine. But I really hope I meet all the people whose cup of tea it is. If that makes sense, because I really want to help, and it gives me a sense of empowerment to know that I could be helping other people. Because I'm telling you now, and I don't want to be, you know, dismal Victor Mildrewy type person, but this is going to be one of the hardest fights of your life if you've got this, because it will attack everything around you, your life, mind, body and soul. It just is relentless. It will just carry on going until you don't think you can cope anymore, and I don't want you to get to that stage. So stick by me for a little while, humour me and see if I can give you a little help, okay? So there's my hand reaching out to you, ting 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 ting, and I hope you reach back. And I hate this subscribe thing, because it makes it sound like, oh, subscribe to me. I don't want to subscribe. I just want you to watch and learn and perhaps get some inspiration and some help along the way. So if it means subscribing, I don't know how it works, to be fair. I've just pressed the record button. Anyway, darlings, it's coming up for 45 minutes. I don't want to bore you too much. But then saying that, people with chronic illness, you've got all the time in the world anyway. Beats watching the box sets that you've watched about 6 million times, doesn't it? We've watched everything in the world, haven't we? Oh my God. Oh, Jonathan Ross, eat your heart out. I could do that film 2017. They should do it. And oh, Gogglebox. Oh my God, slayed it. Watch everything in the world. So if you want any tips on any good box sets or any good films, stuff that's going to cheer you up or stuff that's going to make you feel amazing, just ask me, because I tell you, I've seen everything in the whole world that's on that telly. And on Netflix, the lot. I've done the lot, trust me. A lot of telly time. Anyway, I'm not going to say good night. I'm going to say good morning. Have a lovely day. I'm going to have a cup of chai. I might read for a little while. No, I can't, because my eyes hurt. Oh, I don't know. I'll just sit and listen to her snoring and hopefully sleep will come. If it doesn't, then perhaps I will have to watch the telly on quiet. So, my little YouTubey people, I really hope that you've enjoyed my little input, and I hope that you look forward to all the other little bits that I've got to say. And I will take you on a journey that will hopefully... The analogy is I want to hold your hand. Sounds a bit changing. But I want to hold your hand and gently guide you through the minefield that is this condition. And hopefully help you to dodge some of the explosions. That's what I want to do. So please leave any comments or come over. My Facebook page, Nicky Allen, is full. There is a public page which I will put videos on. I think you can follow me on Facebook or something like that. But there'll be updates on there as well. So if you want to pop along there, I'm on Twitter as well. You know, all the normal stuff. If you want to get in contact with me, or just go to my website, Nicky Allen, and just email me. Don't inbox me on Facebook though, because there's hundreds of thousands of messages and it's too much for me. It's too much of a waste of my energy, because as soon as you answer one, someone else asks a question. It goes on and on and on, you know. So just give me an email if you want any help or advice. Other than that, I'll be giving you everything I can, as much as I can. So when I'm well, I'll do it. When I'm not, obviously I won't. That's logic for you. That's logic. So keep fighting. Stay positive. Hang on in there. Don't let people bully you into how you should be feeling. And I think the first stage that I'll hit, obviously, will be on first diagnosis, and we'll have a look at the medication and what to expect from the doctors. How does that sound? So we'll start that on the next one and go from there. So God bless you all, and I'll speak to you soon.